Very well. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Lunchtime News on this 8th day of November 2024. Many thanks for making time. Let's look at the news shaping up the news conversation in the country at this hour. My name is Bentro Njue. Susan Thuku is my colleague handling the sign language interpretation. We begin on a food security enhancing note where county governments have been asked to partner with the national government and establish funding mechanism and financial tools that support agroecological practitioners. Speakers during the inaugural Agroecological Symposium, which was held at the Kenya School of Monetary Studies, acknowledged the need to secure inclusive and sustainable access, use and control of productive land and fertile soil for sensitizing farmers in efforts to enhance food security.
But we also call upon the urgent need to redirect the funding to aspects of agroecology as a key strategy for transforming food systems and enhancing climate resilience for smallholder farmers, indigenous people, and women and youth. Civil society actors who I think are here, we call upon you to continue fostering community awareness on agroecological practices, advocating for policies that support the adoption and implementation of agroecology to transform food systems.
Na mahimizo mengi sana wakulima wamepata zile vitu ambazo wanafaa kuweka kwa mchanga, lakini sisi tumekuja kugundua lazima uhimize mkulima, kwa sababu ukiweka kitu chochote kwenye mchanga, kama ni mbolea, weke kwenye mchanga, huwezi kitoa. Kwa sababu sasa umekeka milele. Sasa hatutaki wakulima kufanya mistake ama kufanya makosa pale kwenye shamba. Waeke kile kitu ambacho mchanga unahitaji.
Watu wa kilimo hai hatutaki hiyo fertilizer. Tunataka organic fertilizer. Haitufikii na haikuji. Lakini kama serikali ingeangalia kama inapewa wengine fertilizer hii yao ya kemikali, sisi tupewe ile organic, itatusaidia sana.
And now to the ongoing national examination, where Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang has warned examination center managers and school heads against risking their careers by condoning exam malpractices in the ongoing Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations. Speaking in Kikuyu Sub-County during the supervision of the distribution of exam papers, Kipsang confirmed that 11 cases of people sneaking mobile phones into exam centers have occurred, and elaborate measures are in place to enhance the integrity of the examinations.
The KCSE exams entered day 5 on Friday, with candidates scheduled to sit for chemistry exams throughout the day. With 11 cases of malpractices having been reported, the Ministry of Education maintains the process is above board, despite isolated cases of attempted cheating.
We have run quite a good exam so far in quite a number of, almost across the country. The number of incidences of attempted sneaking of telephones is very minimal compared to any other year.
Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang, who supervised the distribution of examination papers in Kikuyu Sub-County on Friday morning, however, warned teachers that the government will crack the whip on anyone found aiding or abetting cheating.
You are already a principal, you are already running a school. I don't know what else you would want to risk your career to an extent that you do some of these things. You know, I was telling some people yesterday, you are being suicidal.
The PS is also urging parents and guardians to monitor their children in the wake of increasing number of teen mothers sitting for the exams in hospitals. Joseph Wahungu for Lunchtime News.
And in other news, the Kenyan Peasants League are expressing dissatisfaction with the High Court ruling lifting the ban of importation and open cultivation of genetically modified foods in the country. According to them, the High Court dismissed the case without taking into account their reservation, saying they will be moving to the Court of Appeal. They also pledged to sensitize farmers and Kenyans on the effects of genetically modified organisms, calling on Kenyans to reject the GMO products.
We want to state that while we respect the court, we are going to appeal this matter. We have already instructed our advocates, and this afternoon we have filed a notice of appeal at the High Court to inform the High Court and the other parties that we are dissatisfied with the ruling, and we are filing an application for stay next week because we believe we have grounds. We are telling farmers that we are also going to, farmers must now organize themselves into clusters. They must collect their own data, and they must know that as consumers, we have a right of choice.
Elsewhere, the National Crime Research Center, NCRC, is conducting in-depth studies to understand the rising crime waves in the country, with a particular focus on the growing rates of homicides and femicides. Dr. Mutuma Rutere, CEO of the NCRC, stated that the research aims to analyze the root causes, perpetrators and victims of these crimes, with the goal of informing policy and guiding improvements to the criminal justice system. Speaking at the launch of the NCRC new strategic plan for 2023 to 2027, Dr. Rutere outlined the center's vision to not only advance research into crime trends, but also to improve institutional sustainability and develop strategic partnerships. He emphasized that the plan seeks to address emerging security challenges and strengthen crime prevention measures across the country.
He's actually in the process of studying that crime surge, those reports of those crime surge, to understand the causes, the patterns. So we are looking at the data, we are looking at the context within which those crimes are taking place, so as to get a better understanding of what is actually might be behind the surge in those crimes. When you look at those kind of surges, even in other places, sometimes there are different contexts, there are different reasons that explain why you have a wave of crime. It could be a group of individuals carrying out the same crimes. We would like to understand, for instance, whether it is similar individuals or particular individuals who are carrying out those homicides, or whether it is similar patterns, whether they are copycats in terms of the perpetrators of that.
Kaungu School in Mbere, North Embu County, has received a facelift and infrastructure improvement courtesy of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF. Residents at the same time called on the school population had increased and called on the government to build additional classrooms before January of 2025 to accommodate grade 9 learners. They say the new infrastructure will offer better learning conditions for students and teachers, and subsequently go a long way in improving the school's performance.
Hapo mwanzo hii shule haikuwa na madarasa ya kutosha, haikuwa na administration block, lakini kwa sasa kazi imeanza na inaendelea. Tumejengewa administration block, tumejengewa madarasa mapya, na sasa watoto wetu wako na mahali ya kusomea, na we are sure watoto wataimprove kimasomo.
Lakini tungeomba, kwa sasa hatuna grade 9, tungeomba mwaka ujao watoto wanapofungua shule mheshimiwa atujengee hili darasa ili tukaweza kuendelea na masomo.
Kenyans have been urged to embrace religious values in order to fight evil practices and instill moral values among the younger generations in the society. Speaking at Redeemed Gospel Church in Rabai, Kilifi County, Kilifi Deputy Governor Flora Chibule said that the society was slowly losing moral values due to adoption of foreign culture among the youths. Chibule, while lauding the move to translate the Bible into local dialects, said that it will help communities to understand better, especially those who do not understand English or Swahili language. This is while noting that the effort to translate the Bible into local dialect was long overdue, sentiments echoed by leaders present.
We are happy that it has taken time, it has taken ages, but our people now have the New Testament translated to a language they can refer to. Amen? You can imagine the people who wanted to put the voice in the word, but they could not read it in English.
We really appreciate for all effort, for all stakeholders, whoever has participated to make sure this day has been made historic at Kirabai by translating Bible into Kirabai.
And still in the county, women in Kilifi County have been urged to conduct a regular self-examination for breast cancer. Researchers from Aga Khan University Hospital have emphasized that regular self-examinations can help women identify unusual changes in their breast at an early stage, enabling them to seek medical attention before the disease advances to more severe stages. Speaking during a breast cancer care dissemination meeting, experts and cancer survivors said there is need for increased awareness and self-examination practices to empower women to take proactive steps towards safeguarding their health. The experts revealed that breast cancer remains one of the leading causes of cancer-related deaths among women in Kenya.
Detect early. It's a terrible diagnosis. Nobody wants to hear the diagnosis of cancer. But the good news is now we can detect early, more than 10 years ago. We can screen, we have technology for treatment of early lesions. So more can be done.
Vile aliambiwa na huyu daktari kwamba wakati kama unaoga unajiangalia, ndo alijiangalia yeye mwenyewe ndo akapata kuna kitu kama tezi uvimbe hivi kwenye matiti yake. Sasa alipohisi hivyo ndio akaenda akamwona daktari.
Very well, at about 12 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for our first break, but when we come back, we still have more local business and also sports news.
My name is Tabitha Wambui. I am 14 years old. I'm also a football player in Kawa Pride FC. Imeniwezesha kutravel different places. Nimejuana na watu wengi. Put more effort on what you are doing. Believe even in God.
We are going to read today. It's about Blue Rabbit and her friends. And Blue Rabbit and her friends are looking for something special.
Today we show you how to make the yummiest vegetable rice. It's delicious and just perfect for a meal.
I have Miss Edna and Miss Lena, and we're going to do a dot painting kit.
Differently. We wanted to know what is it like to have a disability in Northern Kenya.
The Desert Wheel Race is not just a race. It is a platform to address critical issues facing persons with disabilities in the nomadic and pastoralist communities.
We advocate for the rights, inclusion, and participation of persons with disabilities from nomadic and pastoralist communities.
Differently.
Everybody needs Jesus, no matter their social status and no matter the image they portray.
I started hearing, I was going through this depressive season, and I started hearing voices that were oppressing me, very dark voices telling me to do dark things, this life chose me. So I didn't choose God, He chose me. He left the 99 for the one, just like Jesus says. I saw this very white, blinding light engulf my room, engulf my space, and it was so bright that I could not look into it.
So no matter the economic status, all of us at the end of the day, we need God, and God is the equalizer.
Take over.
Welcome back, and many thanks for keeping me company. For our next story, we look at the El Chamus culture in our weekly segment, My Culture.
Lemean Lekachuma, once Max Ryong from Sweden, is now fully immersed in the El Chamus culture. What started as a volunteer mission to help eradicate poverty quickly evolved into a deep appreciation and adoption of the rich El Chamus traditional way of life.
In 2011, when I was still young, I was 21, and I stayed in Masailand. But when I stayed in Masailand in Kajiado, I stayed with the El Chamus people who were there working. And I really came to enjoy the culture, the life.
Lemean is now a member of the Ilmengati age set. In 2014, Lemean underwent the El Chamus initiation ceremony, a pivotal moment that allowed him to fully integrate into the El Chamus community as a Moran.
To the same family, year by year, and then taking myself into the culture more and more. They gave me the name Lemayan, and then because of that family, I circumcised through them Lekashuma to be part of them. So now my names are Lemayan Lekashuma.
Since then, he has actively participated in El Chamus traditions, making every occasion on the El Chamus calendar a must attend.
I'm here now together with my age set. As we have a ceremony now for our leader, Launoni. So he's shaving his hair. Has to be now fully elders.
But Lemean's adoption into the El Chamus culture goes beyond mere participation. He has been embraced by members of the community as one of their own, mingling with fellow Morans and even conversing fluently in the El Chamus language.
I came here as a volunteer, as the mindset of coming that I'm here, people are having poverty, I come here to help people. But I got shocked that these guys, they know more than me about life. Things that as we were not exposed to. So instead of teaching, I became now the student.
Join you because of your culture. It means it's a positive culture. We welcome those who want to join us, and they join our culture, they become El Chamus, and also now that increases our population.
Lemean has embraced every aspect of the El Chamus way of life. Lemean Lekachuma's story is a testament to the power of cultural exchange and human capacity for adaptation. From a Swedish volunteer to a fully integrated member of the El Chamos community, his journey reminds one of the richness of diversity and the bonds that can form across continents and cultures. Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
Season, enjoy na GoTV. Beste yako wafuta. Tuna connect na ligi zote. Jishikie GoTV leo ujinice na the best futa live on Supersport. GoTV, love it.
Kuletewa na mtu. Hiyo mtu ni nani alikuletea hiyo makali kukata? Hiyo kali kukatakatwa.
Ni wewe. Kama mimi na ngoja customer alete gari. Watengeneze. Na sisi hapana watu ya kuharibu.
Ndio nakuuliza unakuia nani mkali? Sasa si hiyo kali tulikuwa tunauza nini? 1.2.
Uko sure? Sasa na ulikuwa umekataa, ulikuwa na.
Anasema wanausanga.
Ilikuwa 150.
Kama sijui kuendesha gari, driving natoa wapi?
Unajua.
Sijui kuendesha gari my friend. Kitu ambaye najua kuendesha saiti ni basikili.
Ukiona huyo nywele hapo nao lakini akili.
Na wewe sasa hauna nywele kwa hivyo huna akili.
Wewe mwenyewe hauna nywele.
Kwa hivyo hana akili.
Hauna akili hata wewe.
Baba.
Everybody needs Jesus, no matter their social status and no matter the image they portray.
I started hearing, I was going through this depressive season, and I started hearing voices that were oppressing me, very dark voices, telling me to do dark things. This life chose me. So I didn't choose God, He chose me. He left the 99 for the one, just like Jesus says. I saw this very white, blinding lights engulf my room, engulf my space, and it was so bright that I could not look into it.
So no matter the economic status, all of us at the end of the day, we need God, and God is the equalizer.
Take over.
Where am I?
I'm going to report this to the police right away.
He will panic and do something stupid. I will destroy him and everybody else who helped him do this.
For the first time, I feel very, very powerless.
At least now he feels what it is like to almost lose a loved one.
Ajikwe, nataka unitrakie namba 2 urgently. Did you Njue ziko in the same location?
My father will never let it go. He will find you.
Wewe venye mzee wako nataka tukacheze. Tukacheza.
Change is here.
And this shift is about many things. The country's shifting.
This is Kenya's vision, the journey to development.
KBC is going to be the home to realize, to discuss, to share ideas about this shift and to know where our country is going.
We dissect the rumors. We clarify the perceptions. A clear picture of the status quo. Change is indeed here.
Everything is shifting.
The shift.
Welcome back. Moving on, only 9% of Kilifi County's 1,453,787 residents have registered with the Social Health Authority owing to lack of national identity cards. This was revealed by staff at the Malindi Sub-County Hospital, who say many patients are facing difficulties in accessing the services provided under the Universal Health Coverage UHC, since they are unable to register with a new authority in the absence of a national identity card.
With the implementation of the Social Health Authority scheme well in its second month, health officials in Kilifi County are expressing concerns on the number of residents who are yet to be registered under the scheme. According to Gertrude Mbeyu, the nursing officer in charge of Malindi Sub-County Hospital, lack of identification card is derailing the provision of the SHA services to patients.
Changamoto kubwa ambayo tumeipata kufikia sasa kule maternity na hata pia katika vitengo vingine ni watu ambao hawajajisajili kwa SHA. Kwa sababu kubwa ni kwamba hawana vitambulisho.
Other reasons cited were lack of mobile phones, lack of awareness, and misinformation arising from negative publicity, as well as former NHIF principal members who were migrated to SHA but had not added their dependents into the system.
Tuko na maafisa wetu pale kwa ward, tumewahamasisha kwamba wawapatie wananchi information kuhusiana na SHA na pia wawasaidie kujisajili.
Elsewhere, the Embu County Social Health Authority branch has teamed up with the National Government Administration officers and the county government to ramp up registration of households. County Commissioner Jack Obuo said they targeted to register 206,000 households into the scheme by the end of December to enable them access quality healthcare services without financial difficulties.
Tumejumuisha village elders, tuko nao kwa hii program. Tumejumuisha administrators, chiefs, assistant chiefs na our ngao. Tunafanya mabaraza kila wiki, baraza moja, na tunafanya town hall meetings. Tumetarget kila ward within the next 2 months. Kila ward kwa Embu County watapata opportunity ya kuwa sensitized kwa maneno ya SHA.
Joseph Ohungu for Lunchtime News.
Now, young people have been urged to embrace and protect their local traditions while embracing cultural diversity. Speaking during the start of Ma Cultural Festival in Samburu County, Samburu North Legislator Alois Letoimaga reiterated the importance of guarding local traditions, tasking young people to promote their own culture and ensure they pass on the same to those coming after them.
Ma Cultural Celebration has kicked off in Samburu County. The festival has attracted all Ma-speaking tribes from different counties.
Kuja kushowcase vitu ambayo tumefunzwa na nawili, mishipi, na tumefunzwa vitu kama mishipi, shanga, kushona shanga, na pia kuna wale wanyazi.
Women entrepreneurs also graced the event. Samburu North Member of Parliament has called on youth to embrace and promote their own culture.
Hii mambo ya kuweka cultural day, Ma Cultural Day, ni kitu ambayo ya kusaidia sisi hasa wa generation ambayo itakuja baadaye na wale wako saa hii, kwa sababu mwashamila ni mtumwa.
This comes as the county government of Kericho hosts the first ever Kipsigis Cultural Week at Kericho Green Stadium. Traditional food and lifestyle were showcased at the stadium as a way of promoting the community's culture. Kericho Governor Eric Mutai said the event helps the community to go back to their roots and promote unity.
And today we are here to locate our history, because in understanding our history, it gives us a better perspective of today, it gives us a better perspective of tomorrow.
Automation of mining activities is being fast-tracked in efforts to address issues about exploitation of resources as well as enhancing compliance of set regulations. Alan Oko with the details.
The Kenya National Bureau of Statistics data shows the mining and quarrying sector recorded a 6.5% contraction in 2023 compared to a 9.3% growth in 2022. This contraction is partly attributed to the inefficiencies, especially among large-scale mining operations.
Tutafanya hesabu scientifically yale madini ambayo anatoa kwa kila ton ili tuweze kumcharge ile royalties yote ambayo hajaweza kuwa akilipa. Na going forward hata kupata license itakuwa gumu, maana kama wewe kazi yako ni kufanya ile biashara haramu.
Mwangi says automation will strengthen the monitoring of large-scale mining activities and enhance regulation.
Tuna wafadhili ambao wametusaidia tuweze kufanya some digitization, tuweke kwa hizi mining sites ili tuweze kujua what is happening.
He's also concerned about the environmental damage caused by unregulated mining and the use of harmful chemicals. The ongoing crackdown, which targeted 6 major gold mines, resulted in the confiscation of mining equipment and machinery. Alanauko, Lunchtime News.
And rice farmers in Njue are being advised to avoid using chemicals to contain the spread of snails on their farms. Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization Center Director for Njue, Dr. Ruth Musila, says an organic pesticide is being developed to tackle the growing threat of nail infestations in rice farmers within the Njue irrigation scheme.
Serikali naomba mfanye kazi ya kujarifia hiyo sindero iishe. Nikiisha tutafurahi sana.
In this training, I know most of the farmers are really concerned about the golden apple snails, but we have been able to give them tips on how they can be able to manage the golden apple snails. For example, once they have done their transplanting, they need to drain the water because, of course, without the water, you do not have the golden apple snails. So we have been able to take them through that process of management of the golden apple snails. Instead of using the chemicals, which we know they have an effect to the environment, we are encouraging them to use biological control or another control where we are not using chemicals.
Java House is in the process of opening 6 new outlets that will create about 200 jobs and offer market for local farm produce. Java House Group CEO Priscilla Gadongo says the new outlet that will be opened by March next year will support about 1,000 livelihoods. Since the beginning of this year, the farm has opened 6 branches as part of celebrations to mark its 25th anniversary.
We also boast businesses, not only to our farmers, but also our business fraternity here, because they are actually acquiring and purchasing things locally. So this is also promoting our business people and also creating employment.
We recruit from the local communities, we buy from the local communities. So just for context, close to 98% of everything we use at Java is locally sourced. So when you talk about the socio-economic impact, you can multiply that over 300%, either from jobs in the communities we serve, from further opening the cities to encourage future investments.
Manchester United beat Greek champions PAOK 2-0 to record their first win in the UEFA Europa League this season, thanks to a brace from Amad Diallo. In other matches, Galatasaray of Turkey beat Tottenham Hotspurs of England 3-2, as Lazio of Italy overcame Porto of Portugal 2-1. Hoffenheim of Germany were held to a 2-2 draw with Olympique Lyonnais of France.
Diallo with a header back in, is it Greek? From Manchester United's best player, goes for goal again! Header away by Gray, comes back and it's smashed into Porro. Absar wants it played back to him. It's flicked in by Solanke.
Chelsea crashed Armenia side FC Noah 8-0. as Joao Felix and Christopher Nkuku scored a brace each to increase their unbeaten run in the UEFA Conference League. In other matches, Real Betis won 2-1 against Celje and Fiorentina lost 2-1 to Apoel.
And they've given the ball away there, and it's 2-0. Fernandez to play it in there, and another goal from a header, and it's Dizzle in possession again. Silva, Felix, and that's running onto it on the edge of the box. He'll fancy the shot, and he'll score! That's it.
And before we wrap it up, just one more where the Judiciary has decried the rising numbers of criminal cases involving minors in Naivasha, with children dropping from schools to join the illegal fishing trade. The most affected are informal settlements with poverty, unemployment among guardians and lack of parental care attributed to the rise in the cases. Subsequently, the court has dedicated November to resolving the cases, some of which have been lagging for the past 10 years. According to Naivasha Principal Magistrate Juliana Ndengeri, the number of criminal cases facing minors were on the sharp rise in the last 2 years.
In matters, especially in criminal matters where children are involved, in last year's case, from the month of June to July this year, we had a total of 220 registered cases, and we finalized 170 of them, and the balance of 50 was carried on to this year.
We are having what we call the child rights clubs in various schools, whereby the children are able to express themselves. They are able to state some of the challenges they go through, either at school or even at home. And that one is done through what we call the talk boxes.
Very well, and from the corridors of justice that we put a cap on KBC Lunchtime News this Friday. Thank you so much for joining us. More news in our subsequent bulletin. Don't forget to check out our KBC app and also our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. My name is Njue, and Susan Thuku has been our sign language expert on the bottom right of your screen. Many thanks for joining us, and have a blessed weekend ahead.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sports, music, entertainment news, live TV, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hands. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tutakuza mboga za kienyeji.
Watu warudi shambani. Tena mahali walipo, kama wananisikiza, warudi shambani. Shamba linalipa, shamba tukingangana na kulima hatutafukuza njaa. Na tutakuwa tukilia rais saidia kila wakati, ama mbunge saidia, kwa sababu hakutakuwa na njaa.
Kisha tukapande makonge. Usikose kujumuika nasi siku ya Jumamosi saa 10:30 upate mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Samani, nasikia mtaja tu zito. Kwani nani wako?
Zito mimi ni mpenzi wangu.
Kwanza una uhakika ni Zito sio wewe ambaye unamwongea? Unaitwa nani? Bibi yake inaitwa Shamsa.
Sina hela, sina kazi, sina chochote.
Kwa nini mtuma Zito aje niwe mimi? Ukumbuke uko nyumbani kwangu, sawa? Na sikujui hunijui. Naomba ujiheshimu.
Hapo kwa crime scene walitaja jina yako.
Ati?
Unafaa kuwa jela wewe.
Mama ananiambia jina lakini
mimi hisi yangu indanganye.
ambaye hisi yako Mama Jane ifanye uchunguzi vizuri kabisa.
Omba msamaha usamehewe.
Hebu unaonekana mkamkiza ujinga.
Sasa hizo ndo zote zimekusaidia na nini Jackie?
Amjei pata uchi for orchestrator hii plan mzima.
Huyu ni mtu anatujua. Na najua ile siku tunambeba pesa.
Yaani huyu kijana amenizoea.
Ile najaribu kuangalia kila kitu na angle zote.
Keep change.
Alex. Kelele ni ya nini? Ona, mzuri nataka nikwambie.
Hivyo ndio uliamua utakacheza.
Is tradition a relic of the past or something that we still need today? Now, I wouldn't say I'm fully traditional, but there are values that are ingrained in me, like respecting my elders, helping others, or even speaking my mother tongue, Oshiherero. We have so many ways of preserving culture, and on this week's show, we will explore exactly that. Welcome to the 77%, the show for Africa's majority, the under 35s. I am your host, Okering Gushinado. Here is what we have for you today. In our street debate, Ugandans discuss whether tradition is outdated or not. Next, we throw ourselves into the arena with Uganda's mud wrestlers. And finally, we explore the colorful wax print fabric and the ties to the famous Nana Ben's ladies. A new twist on traditional Ugandan wrestling. It's similar to the wrestling matches we know from the US and blends in theatrics, but it is much muddier. And through all of this, one girl stands out. Through her hard training and dedication, she wants to become as big as her idols. Let's check her out.
We're here in the outskirts of Kampala to bring you mud fighting like you've never seen it before. Echigo Chabumbash is what they call it. A kind of traditional fighting and wrestling that integrates Hollywood entertainment. It's absolutely crazy. And the best part is the women seem to be leading the pack. I can't wait to find out what it's all about. Why don't we do this together?
This is Hope Nabwire. She's 18 years old and one of the stars of Echigo Chabumbash, soft ground wrestling in Kampala.
Jina yangu naitwa Nabwire Hope, aka Hope Mikeson.
Hope Mikeson? Yes. Like Mike Tyson. Okay, Hope Tyson.
Nilikuwa kwa shule.
My story started when I was at school and I liked to fight with other children and my friends. And each time we fought, we got a suspension. And my mom told me to stop fighting. We were at home, then I watched Bumbash on TikTok. I saw kids fighting with each other in Echigo Chabumbash, and I thought I also like this sport.
Hope wants to become a famous wrestling star in Kampala. Although these fights look frightening, it's all staged. It might look violent, but these fighters don't hurt each other. Uganda's one and only wrestling school was founded by this guy, Daniel Bumba, just 1 year ago.
In Uganda, apparently, we had Echigo Gumbia, the one for the tradition, the kings, whereby you could fight before the king and you've given respect. Yeah, then I was like, okay, this is Echigo Gumbia. It doesn't have the grappling techniques. Let me create an athletical form of theater. Let me call it Echigo Chabumbash. Let me kind of conglomerate the skills of Americans into the local ones so that it becomes more entertaining.
I always think about wrestling.
While sleeping, wrestling. While eating, wrestling.
After 9 months of training, Hope gets her first fight.
To fight, I have to approve you, me, myself. Not everyone here fights. You only have to train every day while eating and training, till I'm like, okay, you man, you're ready to rumble.
For now, their fierce fighting skills earn them just enough to keep a roof over their heads and food on the table for their growing muscles. But Hope, Daniel and their fellow wrestlers dream of more, craving the spotlight, big fame and a fortune.
One day, I will become a big wrestler. I'll go abroad to America, to the wrestling leagues. And I will meet The Rock, Sasha Banks, Io Sky, and Bailey.
Just like that, the match is over, and Hope has wrestled her way to a fine win. This victorious win is more motivation for the young wrestler to keep going, and she also has a message for her peers. Stay strong, independent, and never be afraid to fight for your own dreams. Go get him, Hope.
The African continent is rich with diverse traditions, each unique and deeply rooted in history. Yet the legacy of colonialism has left its mark, influencing how these traditions are preserved and practiced even today. That can be from language to cultural customs or even oral culture, the stories your parents or grandparents told you when you were young. But can we find a balance between modernity and core traditional values? While my colleague Edith Kimani is in Uganda's capital, Kampala, for this week's street debate, and her panel give a very insightful take on this.
Hello and welcome back to the 77% Street Debate. This week we are back in Uganda's capital of Kampala. Now this is a city that's steeped in traditional culture, but you wouldn't know that walking around because like many capitals across Africa, it's also living in a modern time. And so today we're asking, are African cultures at risk of being erased in the quest for globalization? So in your family, what role does culture play?
It plays a role when it comes to discipline, when it comes to morals, when it comes to way of behavior. I know Langi, I can speak Langi fluently. When I'm in northern Uganda, I can speak the language. But why am I able to do all this? Because my father taught me from day one. If you greet a in Langi itieningo and you reply him, I'm fine, you're going to get a smack on your head. So if you're speaking of society and the cultural leaders are speaking of them, the issue being with young people, the issue is actually with them. Now,
okay, so before we address the issue in totality, I just want to understand, you know, because not everybody lives in a cultural home. So what does that look like for you? Is that when you're having birthdays? Is it when there's marriages? When do you really feel this culture?
Culture is actually felt during traditional ceremonies. That is during emikolo, what they call emikolo among the Baganda, the traditional marriage. So the only time I would know that agomesi exists properly is when there's a traditional marriage. If you come dressed in your skinny pants, I will actually send you away, but you cannot tell me to come for a grand party and you expect me come dressed in agomesi. What are you trying to tell me? Because that's what society has shown us.
Agomesi is the traditional Ugandan garb, regalia. Yes. All right, so let's move to Faith here for a little bit because you come from an extremely traditional home and what Kia is talking about here is not new for you, right? But you have a very different interpretation of it. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've grown up in a home that's very, very traditional. You have to kneel when you greet. You have to kneel when you serve. You're supposed to speak your language. You're supposed to, it's so cultural to a point that there are even gender roles attached to men and women because of culture. You know, culturally, a man is like a god. We see him as he's up there, and so if I'm talking to a man, I'm going to be kneeling. There are particular parts of the chicken that only the man eats.
Yeah. Some voices at the back here.
I would love to stay in Kampala because Kampala is so good. I have everything. I would go to the cinema. I would get everything I feel like I need. But then when you tell me go back to the village, meet Granny, Granny is going to tell me to go to the garden.
Okay, so this is interesting. So in order for culture to exist, there has to be hardship. Too much modern conveniences is not good for culture. Kinda, all right. Oh, wow, whoa. Let me come to you, Andrew, because when we were speaking, you made the point that, look, what are we even defending?
The problem is that most of the times when we're talking about culture in Africa, we talk about it in a traditional way. We talk about it what we wear. For example, like we might tell you that we are in a cultural center because there are a couple of arts, but culture is more than that. It's the food, it's what we say, it's the way we talk. So when you look at Africa, since we were colonized all those years back, and you look at Africa today, what exactly are we trying to preserve? Like, I mean, we're having this conversation in English for starters, and one fiber of culture is language. If we are having this conversation in English, what are we still trying to defend?
Okay. Let me ask a question. When we talk about culture, it's just the general evolution of a people. Yes. So when you say previous cultures, when does a previous culture end and begin?
Now, the previous culture, I would say, is how they used to behave in the past days. Right now, it's an evolutionary era. The season is, there's an evolution happening right now. So as Africans, we should stop the blame game of the Western culture is influencing us. We have these very resources. We have the internet. We have all these things.
I get your point. All right, Faith.
It's them who are eroding culture on their own. This is all they have taught us. So these people who came before us eroded culture, and now they're blaming modernization. Because all I've known as culture out here is Gomesi, the Mushanana, the Kanzu. And if he's telling me today, you want us to wear a back cloth and walk half naked?
Okay, that's Henry, that's a good question. I just want to come back to you for a second because there's an important point that Faith is raising there, that we're all sort of adapting a watered down version of some kind of culture. So what do you have to say to that, looking to the future? Should we blame young people for not taking on what we now know as our culture?
No, I think we may not have to blame the people, but we have to blame the international communities, which has come up to unify us. They are calling it a global village now. Me, I was punished twice for speaking my local language. At those days, they would put a dress on you, a badge on you to indicate that you were found speaking a local language in a compound. So there have been efforts to decampaign African languages and local languages in particular.
Let me ask Faith an important question here, which is that, yes, what is the importance of these symbolisms of, are you guys hitting on each other on my pan? So what is the importance of these symbols in culture?
The UK has a king as the overall. So it does have a place in modern society. But it doesn't have to be too rigid to change some of their practices, you understand? So now when I show up for a party in my high sleeve dress and it's a traditional party, it should not be a crime that I'm not wearing a gomesi.
I think it's fair to say that so far what we are agreeing on is that culture sort of seeps into one another, right? We adopt and we let go of some, and we adopt and we let go of some. If we allow so many things to die out and sort of fall by the wayside, what's going to separate us from Europeans, from Asians, from Americans?
Africa was set up to forget its culture. I don't know if they intended it, but the way Africa is set up, most African countries usually have that one city, which is usually more developed than the others. Other people come in and start working together. The moment you start mixing, it's so hard to maintain a culture when you're mixed up. Okay. So it's always up to everyone who is at home to actually maintain culture at home, not the society.
Okay.